Hey, what's up fellas, this is Mechanic Mode, a new video for my YouTube channel guys, and today we'll talk about Mopar, Dodge and Chrysler and anything that wears as an engine 3.6 V6 engine, right? And if you have a tick noise on your engine, then this is the right video for you, because I'll explain you in quick words how that happens, why that happens, and how to fix it. Saying right away, for the big fans of Mopar and Dodge, this is not a video about saying that they are bad or the engines are bad. I'm talking about the main problem that basically it's their mistake. They did it, and that's causing you to do rebuild or spend a lot of money on repairs, not to do a rebuild, obviously. So as an effect, I can tell you quick how to kind of not to have this problem. But probably the best you can do is to change the oil every 3 or 5,000 miles. So make sure you always have the right level, the oil level in your engine. And second is if you have a little bit of weird noise in your engine, obviously you don't know what's going on with your engine, because not everyone understands the engine sounds. But just go to a mechanic and pay 150 bucks and let them figure it out. A good mechanic. Don't go someone to lie to you or whatever. I'm just saying. So yeah, this video is actually about how to identify, find the cause, figure it out and fix it all cheap, fix it good, fix it the way you need to, not to have this weird noise and not to mess up your whole engine. So that's the video about it. I love this engine. I think is one of the best engines that Dodge made it, actually, like for real. So yeah, like I said, if you have that weird noise and you made it up to right here and you listen to me, then I give you 100% you'll fix your noise in your own engine after this video. So let's go ahead in the garage and I'll explain you and I'll show you everything, how I fixed it, so you have an idea. If you cannot do it, find a good mechanic or a friend or family member or whatever who understands a little bit in cars and have an idea how to hold tools in their hands. You're definitely gonna be able to do it. So do it if you can and you know how, not forcing no one. And this video is for skillful mechanics that they understand what to do without, like I said, if you know you don't have knowledge, don't do it. All right, next we're going to the garage and let's start the work. All right, for our first step, what we got to do is we're getting the intake manifold out. So we gotta unscrew about 6-8 millimeter bolts. We got 2 nuts on the side, 10 millimeter, and we got another one behind for 13 millimeter bolt that holds the whole intake manifold on, basically on top of the engine. Also, we got about 2-3 connectors and 2 vacuum hose that goes also behind the intake manifold. So our noise comes from the right side of the engine, passenger side. So we got the coils and the spark plugs out, and then we want to make sure everything it's taken apart out of the valve cover on the right side. As you see in the video, there's a lot of Torx bolts. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of connectors and sensors on top of the valve cover that has to be removed. Once you have them out, there is not much left anymore, and then you just have to unscrew all the 8 millimeters bolts around the valve cover, and that's it. Alright, so here is the timing chain and the 2 camshaft intake and outtake camshaft. And now we have to basically have to identify our rocker
and basically the oil sprayer that has the defect and is causing our ticking noise. um, Usually it can be any random one. There is no specific one that has to be bad or not. So you gotta go ahead and basically test each of them and see which one has more basically space and is flexible.
So guys, what I'm going to do is, I started already. I'm going to use a T27 Torx, and I will release the camshaft screws a little by little to make space, and then I'm going to remove the valve lifter. So this is a bad one. You can see it. Let me zoom it. You see how it's moving? And then also you can see here, very nice, you can see it starts cutting the edges. So this is actually causing that ticking weird noise. And also I paid attention is right here. That's another one. You might have an issue later on, which I'll replace it. But you want to make sure you inspect every oil sprayer and valve lifter to make sure you replace them, and you know, not having weird noises. In general, guys, I suggest you when you do this to replace and fix all the rockers, valve lifters, and then oil sprayers to make sure you do one time job and it's all good. In my case, I have only one here, which doesn't need to be much fixed, and I'll replace only the bad ones. That's my choice, you know. But you don't have to do exactly like I do. You might do the full replacement of rockers and oil sprayers. That's definitely a good idea to do. So, like, you know, don't judge me. This is my opinion and this is my choice. I do on my own car, but you don't have to do exactly what I do. But in my case, I just need to fix my ticking noise, which is, like I said, it gives me headache. That's why I'm doing it. Let me show you what's going on with this. So this thing, the rocker, it's pretty bad. First of all, you can see it by the corpus inside itself. It's kind of heated up. Also the roller, it's kind of a rolling, right? But look, pay attention to this. Just look it up. Just let me see, because it's really hard to do with one hand. Do you see that? That's not supposed to be there. Do you understand why actually this thing makes your car, your engine, to tick every time you start a car and while even driving? Look at that. You hear that? Yeah. So here I have a good one, right? Rolling, but doesn't go up and down. No matter how you push, it's supposed to roll on same spot. No up, no down. I push it down, nothing. So here you go. I had many questions on the internet about these cars. I did also replacement, I did rebuilds. I have many videos on about especially chargers and especially this engine, 3.6 V6. I can explain you why even that it happens, so you guys can know what's actually the issue of it. The issue is the oil filter housing, or even the oil cooler, which is under this intake, air manifold intake. So I'll show you a little bit later. I might replace this thing too. So this is gonna explain everything why I'm doing actually this job. So we'll get step by step. So like I showed you, I removed this one, which is the bed rocker. Like I said, you can see on the edge it's bad because this thing, the roller, it goes up and down. I'm going to replace this one, which is here, and then I'll replace the number it's not one, which is it, 6 one right here, the last one from the exhaust camshaft. But like I said, I'm going to explain you why these things happens. Its problem is these. So I have one right here, which is very interesting. This thing supposedly to hold oil when you start the engine, to have oil to spray the camshaft, the rockers, you know, through the oil sprayer, which is right here. Yeah. And this is the one. It's a little bit dirty, but it's the better one. Right here, I moved it. In our case, what happens to this engine is this thing is dropping all the oil in the oil pan. And then when you start the car, the engine starts, it's working fine, but it has oil starvation because the sprayers are empty. There's no oil in here, all the oil is in the oil pan. And then until it comes up, the couple of seconds, these things, every time when you start, it's getting bad. It's scratching it, and the rocker doesn't have enough oil to spray the camshaft. That's why we have eventually this problem with the rocker gets bad. And then I saw a lot of people on blogs to complain about this particular engine to have issues with the weird noise. Don't get me wrong, the engine runs, right? No check engine, no problems, no issues, but the weird noise of tick, 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 ticking noise. So I found that out that someone told me on the blog they have these things that it's made to hold the oil into oil housing just for the engine start to spray the camshaft. So what they do is you put an aftermarket part, you install it instead of this. You still have the same position for the oil filter. You still have everything the same. It's just it's made specially to hold oil every start for your engine. Every time when you start, they have this thing holds oil just to spray enough all the camshafts and rockers. Yeah, sounds crazy, I know. But this is it. And then it's just one notice is it has a special valve that every time when you replace the oil in the engine, you gotta plug a air hose and push the oil down out of it. And then this is the way you take the oil filter out, because like I said, that thing always holds oil in it just to make sure when you start the engine it has enough oil on top, so it's gonna spray the camshaft and there is no going to be oil starvation for your rockers and camshafts. Yeah, I can find and post that thing in the internet, but this is the problem and this is how you solve. And again, I didn't show much how you take everything apart, but a good mechanic that's basically interesting to do this thing at least home itself. I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out until here. And let me show you again. You take the valve cover out. You start with one camshaft, which in my case is the right side, passenger side intake camshaft. You investigate everything around, you check out everything, you make sure every rocker is good. Some of them, they might like move like that even when it's like tied up, screwed in. Some are not. Even here, as you see, right, is unscrewed. You know, we have the space, it doesn't move because the camshaft is pushing down. So what you want to make sure is, let's say you find the problem as I did, right? You want to make sure you turn the engine
So you take the pressure out of your valve, the rocker and the camshaft out of the rocker with the oil sprayer. This way you unscrew a little bit by a little bit until you get enough space to take the rocker and the oil sprayer. Same scenario we're gonna have here. What I'm gonna do, I'll take the pressure out of this rocker because it looks like the camshaft is pushing right into it, and then I'll unscrew. Once I have the pressure out of this, I'm gonna unscrew a little bit like here and replace it with a new rocker and a new oil sprayer. But another thing is, when you put it back together, you want to make sure you put it right, and then you're gonna tighten all the screws as it says here, 8.8 torque, which is actually 8.6. Let me make sure. No, it's actually, let me zoom it. This is original bolts from Dodge. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see. So it's a 9.8 torque, which is 10 basically. 9 point torque. That's how much you want to tighten up your screws back together and make sure it's all screwed. Same order you put everything back together. You want to change your oil, that will be very welcomed. In this case, you did a great job. You fixed your issue, you put a brand new oil, especially 5W30 full synthetic oil. That will be very welcome for this engine. And that's it. All right guys, so here we go. This one replaced and this one replaced. All right, this is not that deep. You barely can feel that with the nail. Like literally I can't. It's just scratched. I'm not going to replace the whole camshaft because of that. Basically you have to do timing chain and everything. It's a fully rebuilt. Like I said, I can drive like that. It's not a big thing. That's it. I replaced all the parts I need to. My Torx is here. I'm going to go and tie them up, make them right, and then put everything back together and see how it works. Thank you for watching the video. That was mechanic mode, and see you next time.